One thing I've learned when it comes to messing around with the Luma Dream AI machine is just like with some of the other AI services that are free and sometimes do require you to have a subscription if you really want to have a little bit more leeway, is just like with them, you have to sometimes emphasize what you want to see, be shown. Whether it's, something weird or something creative or whatever, you will have to basically emphasize what you want focused on or how you want it done. Like with To Do Right, if you want to, create or have it create a, very, I guess you could say NFSW-like story, one of the things you want to do to really show how NFSW or how hardcore extreme NFSW you want to get, you basically have to emphasize what you want in there or what it's, going to be like between the characters. The same with image making, like with Mobians.ai or some of the other places out there. You got to emphasize what you want the character to look like and what they're doing, mostly what they're doing in everything, more so than anything. And like I said, the same goes with Luma Dream Machine AI. You have to emphasize what you want focused on. Now, sometimes does it work? Yes. Does it sometimes, now are there times that it doesn't work, I should say? Yes. So it's kind of like 50-50. It's a crapshoot, if you will. Sometimes you'll get what you want, sometimes you won't. And honestly, with some of the creations I share with you guys, whether they're limited availability because of, some of the things in there or not, it's kind of one of those situations where you kind of see exactly whether or not emphasizing works or it doesn't. And, with some of the examples you've seen, it does kind of work. Now, with that said, the reason I bring this up and what it has to do with me once again talking about the fact, and I know people kind of get a little sick ad nauseum of me talking about this, and I've been talking about it for over a decade, guys, so I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Trust me on that until I see it become a reality, or until somebody at least points out to me that, hey, it was already done, here you go. And believe me, I've seen some various examples. YouTube has actually popped up because of me searching a lot, has popped up a lot of videos that I think do take inspiration from the 1986 Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer. But when I'm talking about, a female artist, singer, and I say it with all due respect, no offense, doing a recreation of it scene by scene, whether using today's technology or the practical effects, what I'm talking about is I'm literally doing scene by scene, like the fruit face, the claymation, you name it. And to me, like it did for him back then, I believe for an artist, whether up and coming or already established, it would be something that would get people talking. But when I look at something like Luma Dream AI Machine, I realize that, hey, once, this AI technology really starts to get better and more advanced and more updated to really understand what you want, I believe if we don't get a kind of a recreation of that, today with artists and everything, then I believe we as fans will be the ones that do it. I truly do. I believe we as fans will be the ones that use something like Luma AI Dream Machine, and once it gets to that point where it fully understands, okay, this is what you want, then we're going to be able to create that video, as we want it. And you can't tell me that people aren't tempted with that possibility. They're not tempted to try to go out and make that a reality, because they are. They are tempted to do that because, it's something that, when you want to challenge yourself artistically, especially with this AI technology, you want to challenge yourself artistically in utilizing it for some kind of project. From what I've seen, the first thing that people will go to is, the 86 Sledgehammer video, because they want to try to recreate it with that technology, almost beat for beat, scene by scene, as best as they can. And I believe that we're getting to that point now. We are getting to that point. Now, are we there totally? No. Because as I said before about all the AI services that I've messed around with, free or not, basically AI still has a lot to learn. Like I mentioned the other day, the Luma service recently updated Dream Machine to 1.5, to where basically the goal for that was to ensure, basically they would have a better understanding of what you, the consumer, the creator, want to see visually on screen. And I think over time we're going to see more updates to where the main focus is to ensure the prompt and the emphasizing of what you want is more visually produced into exactly what you're asking for. Now, do I still believe that even outside of that, we're in a time frame that we will be able to see this kind of stuff occur? Absolutely. I believe we're in a time frame where a female artist/singer will do a Sledgehammer-like music video, almost scene for scene, beat for beat, as a bit of an homage, if not a recreation of Peter Gabriel's. Now, as I've said, if people already know of one that's been made outside of the Kira Green's In Your Hands video, because I know the In Your Hands video by Kira Green's is kind of close to what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for, but not entirely. But if you guys can kind of give me an idea of if one exactly does exist outside of that, and outside of what Bojack does, or Bojack does and everything, let me know. Because again, I feel that we're in this time. We're in this moment, especially now that technology is getting a lot more advanced with the AI. We're getting to that moment. We really are. And I have seen, just because I've been, exploring, just searching and looking up through Google and YouTube, I have seen several videos that feel like they take inspiration from Sledgehammer, mostly like the claymation and stuff. I've seen it, I've seen them basically pop up, as recommendations or suggestions here, on YouTube. Heck, I've even seen the Crazy World one come up, and I know somebody's going to probably bring that up as an example, of, hey, this was made, it's close to it. And I get it, I've seen it, and yeah, this does feel like it has inspiration, but it's not by a female artist or singer, and again, I say that with all due respect, no offense. Because here's the thing. The reason I'm always emphasizing that a female artist singer, should be the one and will be the one that does it, is because when you ask anybody, when you look at studies that have been made, everybody has always said that women are more creative, than men when it comes to a lot of things. Educate, like when it comes to educational, materials to teach kids, being mischievous, ornery, you name it. They are more creative and imaginative. And I believe a female artist singer, can bring that kind of creativity to their take on Sledgehammer, even if it's through their own song and not the Sledgehammer song itself. But yeah, that is why I'm always basically a speaker. I'm basically a voice for this to happen, because I feel it has to happen. I feel it will happen. And especially, like I said, with the technology so advanced, nowadays, I believe we are, just getting closer and closer to that moment, whether people want to agree to it or not. We are getting closer and closer to that moment. I feel it. And again, if anybody knows of one by a female artist that, outside of Kira Green's In Your Hands and Elizabeth Cook's Stupid Things and all that, outside of that stuff, if anybody knows outside of those ones I've mentioned, videos that are like Sledgehammer, that are done by female singer and artists, that are available to watch, either made here in the U.S. or internationally, let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions. I really would. But to me, when I go back and I talk, okay, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here, but what I'm trying to say is, taking this back to what I said earlier about with, the Luma deal. When you look at the Luma AI Dream Machine and other software like it, you can definitely see the technology is there to where, again, if we don't see it, and I believe we will, if we don't see it, happen, we don't see a Sledgehammer-like music video, scene by scene, beat for beat, basically a remake of the video done by, Peter Gabriel, in '86, but maybe to a different song by a female artist and singer. If we don't see one in the near future, then with a lot of the AI technology, really evolving, it's going to be basically up to people like me and you using things like Luma AI Dream Machine to make it a reality. But yeah, we are in that time frame to where I believe the time, as I said before, is now. And the technology is now not just in the hands of the artists and singers and the studios and people they work with, but it's now in our hands as well if it comes to it. But I truly believe, as I've said before, we will see it. We will see a female artist and singer do a remake of the Sledgehammer 1986 music video that Peter Gabriel did. We will see it. And if it's already out there, outside of Kira Green's In Your Hands and Elizabeth Cook's, Stupid Things and anything else, and, Borak has done, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear, any ideas that you know of. I would love to hear them. But until next time, guys, comment down below. Again, let me know in the comments if there are any outside of the ones with the exceptions of the ones that I've mentioned. Let me know. And click on the like button, like the video, click on the bell for notifications for content that comes out sooner or later. Also, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out in the long run, all three options that I've given you. Also, click on the link to my Teespring store in the description for merchandise you can't get anywhere else, as well as click on the links to where you can find my content elsewhere here on the internet. But guys, let me know if there are any videos out there outside of what Bojack does and outside of what Kira Greens did with In Your Hands, Elizabeth Cook did with Stupid Things. Let me know. Let me know if there are any out there. Love to hear from each and every one of you. And until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later.